Hi guys, hello, Mary, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today, of course, is normal day. Hopefully, today our equipment will be operating with optimum settings. Yeah, we'll see. So first thing I want to do is I was going to check to see if the sound is playing correctly, and turn my sound up here now. We'll be operating with optimum settings. Yeah, we'll see. Good. Okay, so the sound works. Excellent. Okay. There's a new feature now for YouTube we're going to be talking about, and it lets you have a transcript of the online chats. But we'll still continue to mirror them because of the fact that for some people you may not necessarily know what to do with that. So I'm going to switch over to that screen now. And let me quickly switch over here. Let me make the screen a little smaller. And so yes, I've got the LG phone back, my Hello Pause, and I'm gonna checking out, make sure everything was looking good, and I don't see anything wrong with this. Let me quickly switch over here. Let me make the screen a little smaller, so yes, I've got the. Okay. So that's the way this works. So we're actually, right now we are taking questions. The phones will be hopefully working in a couple of days. So if you're impatient and are looking for phone calls, bear with us, folks. We will have the phones operating hopefully by Wednesday is scheduled. So you don't have to worry about that. With the issue of, I'm just checking a few things here, make sure everything is okay. Yep, okay. That was one of the things we were having earlier with the microphones, were making internet connections. So we wait for all you guys to come on to the video, and that's what we do. And how many of you actually watch these? I have no idea. I have no idea. So I have no idea. That's a great question. I wish I could give you a definitive answer. But at this point, all I can tell you is that I'm online, and that's all I can see. I don't see how many viewers I got, but I know that the sound works. No idea. That's a great question. I wish I could give you a definitive answer. But at this point, all I can tell you is that I'm online, and that's all I can see. I'm hoping to have both the American Rhonda Church and the German Rhonda Kirche on tonight. Because we really gotta have a good conversation on Wednesday, but we had so many equipment issues that absolutely nobody, had a chance to really enjoy the live stream. And so tonight I'm really hoping that we're going to have more people on and see how we're doing. And that's the reason we have this little phone. Just cheap Chinese stuff. Okay, that's the after show. Okay, so you're going to check this. Yeah. Michelle's spamming it up at the camera again. No, not really. I just, we have this little phone. Just cheap Chinese stuff. Okay, that's the after show. Okay, so we gotta check this. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, so it's all set, it's all working, and are we gonna keep the Android phone ring as a pace car, or are we gonna just pause the screen as needed? Look, because I don't want to run it down, even though it's plugged into the mains, I really would like to just kind of keep it just as a test, make sure everything's working. And right now, I don't see a problem why it wouldn't be working. Now, the German lady said she likes my hair, and for those of you who wonder how often I get my hair retouched, I get my hair retouched once a month or so. Sometimes 5 or 6 weeks. It all depends on when Wednesday lands on. In this case, the Wednesday appointment lands the day after the mixer comes back from the shop. So for the live stream, we're going to be seeing me and my hair. And right now, there's no one commenting at this point. Kind of sucks. Yeah, but not everybody runs in here. Yeah, you're right. Not everybody runs in here, so just switch back to me. So, yeah. So anyway, the point is that we have ascertained that everything is operating within parameters. The sound is sounding. The video is videoing. But the CP233 UVC dongle is still acting like a cranky son of a bitch. Oh yes, Rosie, you asked me if we were going to be allowing you to have HTML links. Let me just double check because I know I did re-enable that, but you know, things can go wrong and the setup here. Let me just check this. Let's see. So let's go to this stream. And so let me just shrink the screen down a bit. I'm looking at this myself. You guys can watch it too if you really want to, but I don't really think most people are really gonna give a flying fart anyway. But the stream is playing. And so let's go to pause the screen. I don't need to play it because it'll just slow us right down. Go to advanced settings. And let's see. Okay. And yes, I do have it set up to automatically do everything according to when I chose the settings, so it looks good overall. And so it's too bad that there's no easy way to get more people on the channel. We got 247 subscribers. How many more do you really think we're gonna get in a couple weeks? Come on, we're not PewDiePie. We're not Logan Paul. We're just a small little channel that just barely makes it. But what makes the channel so successful? I'm just gonna make the screen a little bit bigger. Whoa, big enough? Yeah, that's a little bit too big. Okay, well, so yeah. Yeah. Do people know we're on? Yeah, they know we're on. Yeah, they know we're on. That's absolute guarantee. They know we're on. And so they certainly do. They know we're on. And so let's go back to the comment section. Na 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 Sounds like something from Minions. Yeah, well, I swear my computer's got gremlins in it. Never mind Minions. Okay, so anyway, the point is we're on the air. We're waiting for somebody to join us, and just as where it sucks. Did you tell everybody it's Wednesday? I did. Yeah. Okay. So people know. People know it's actually Sunday right now. Okay. And Sunday it is 7:10 p.m. Eastern time. You did a vlog earlier. If you would know it's this quiet, you could put the vlog and combine it with this. Yeah, I could have. I didn't think it was going to be this slow. Oh, come on. Yeah, you do. You know what we usually, within the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, the videos of the live chats, they're slow. You know. As people either A, are getting ready to go for dinner, or eating dinner, and then just washing the dishes, to whatever. Right. So you're all set for the equipment to come back in the mixer. Yep. So yeah, you're gonna be looking forward to that. Yes. Yep, I sure am. So so you're all set for the equipment to come back in the mixer. Now, since they now say we have the caption option, or at least they do. Yeah, but I don't see it in here. That's true, I don't see it in here either. Unless it's up here in this tab. No. In the chat. Does this thing actually be limited to the number of people that can actually live chat and top chat at the same time? With captions or whatever? I don't know if the application on the phone does the captions. You don't know? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh yes, there's the messages. There's a messages option. Okay. You can turn that on. There's your 3 dimples on here. Report quality 360p. 480p. It's the highest you're gonna get. Let's see. So it's just playing around with the stuff. Quality, report, Philip, and feedback. Yeah, they said that you do have the options to do automatic captioning in the video. 60p, but it doesn't seem to be on the screen. It doesn't seem to show me the option. Right. So, you think they lied? No, I don't think they lied. I really don't know how that works. Anyway, I know that the way the normal automatic captions work, for those of you who don't know, is after you do a video, the video is run through a software program similar to Google Translate that listens to the speech that is spoken. And that allows the software to have enough of the sentence and grammatical structure that it can make a consistent translation. Right. Whereas if I'm doing it on here, Google Translate, don't do it right now. There's no reason to. No. Come join Yes. Alright, so we are now live. Come join us. So, do you think that other people will be on the live stream tonight, or do you think... Well, you know, the thing is that, you know, we've had a couple bad ones, and with the equipment was acting terrible, where the sound system was just absolutely falling flat on its ass, to it just wasn't working consistently. So yeah, I think we're gonna have problems, but I think that right now, at this point, I think we're doing pretty good. So, what do you think it's like to have the just absolutely falling flat on its ass, to it just wasn't working. Alright, so let me just leave this on here. If anything I'll do is I'll let people know. What you should do you think we should tell people, remind people? I did earlier. Oh, okay. So they know that we are live. That's not even an issue. Okay? They know we're live. Okay. So where is everybody? I don't know that. If you knew that, I'd tell you. Oh, I hope this isn't going to be another dismal failure. Well, in this case, if it's a failure... Oh, well, hello, Beaver Time. Looks like you're stuck with just me right now. Well, it's still a start. We could talk briefly, which we were talking about with the supporting of the Donald Trump's food stamp proposals. I wanted to let you know that I don't disagree with you at all on that. I mean, that's why. The Oscars. I think that the food stamp idea is pretty good, but I hope that the Department of Serious screw-ups in the state of Connecticut doesn't mess it up if it happens to pass through Congress and through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. However, the thing I wonder about is if the canned foods that they're proposing is going to be packed in typical canned food fashion, it's going to have a lot of sodium in it, in the water, and the nutrients will be leached out of the canned vegetables and fruits and going into the canning water, which means how in the heaven's name can you really declare that that's a healthy way to go? What do you think? Well, first thing that's healthier is the fact is that properly canned vegetables and fruits can last a long time on the shelf. And what about dried products? Like, they are run by the federal government's United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA. They give the states an allotment of food stamp funding for a variety of programs through the Supplemental Nutritional Program, or SNAP. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, so it's called SNAP. It used to be called food stamps because you used to get paper food stamp money. So basically it's a block of funding that's given by the USDA to the states for that purpose. What the biggest problem is, besides the fact is that the abuse of the program by people who buy things that are not food items, that was a real issue. And that's why the reason they got rid of the paper money, because it was too easy for people to trade it for crack, heroin, LSD, PCP, pot, all kinds of stuff. Whereas the EBT card is much harder to abuse the system. And so that's the reason why the program has is still making changes. Now, in addition, of course, the idea of saving money is going to be, of course, as a businessman, Donald Trump is going to want to do that. He's going to want to cut down on the federal budget expenses. And there's a lot of waste in the food stamp program. Yeah, I agree about what he's saying here, but I think there'll be a lot to untangle before they can do it, like diabetes, allergies. Yeah, for example, and also, like I said, people who are on a low-salt diet are going to find canned vegetables to be basically not good for them. If the program is also intended to provide healthier food items, perhaps they need to examine where it could be maybe dried fruits and vegetables. And for a family, like a large family, like a number 10 cans. The problem is that's going to add weight. Right. And dried corn, peas, carrots, broccoli. Michelle's used a lot of that stuff from the soup kitchen. When they would sometimes get food, dried goods that come in, dehydrated vegetables and fruits. Michelle's used those in cooking. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's going to have to be some things that are going to have to be seriously worked on. But if we can make it work, and also the distribution of the product is going to be a problem, especially in areas where people do not have transportation, or if they're in the rural areas or suburban areas. The handicapped people who don't have transportation are going to find themselves having a hard time. They already have a hard time now. In the cities, you hear about things called food deserts. Sure, you can get food on food stamps, say for example Cumberland Farms, but most convenience stores don't really stock a large amount of fresh fruits and vegetables. If you do have access to transportation, say I can go to Torrington, I do go to Torrington when I can, but it's harder. And then, of course, there's also the concern if you're going to ship out these packages to people, isn't that going to add into the delivery costs to where the point where the food boxes could be more expensive because of shipping than it would be to just give them electronic benefits transfer money, EBT money? That's, again, where... like you said, there's going to be a lot of issues that need to be worked on. And what happens if you don't want those products? Like you said, for example, Michelle does not eat tuna. I can't stand tuna. Ugh. I mean, I'll eat it, but it's not really my favorite thing. But I love Spam. Yeah, she loves Spam. But not the kind that comes in the mailbox. Right, in addition to that, you're also going to deal with the fact that it's going to cost a lot of money to ship the boxes to the doorsteps. Who's going to be doing the delivery? Is it going to be through, United States Parcel Service? Is it going to be through FedEx? Is it going to be a local contractor that's going to deliver these products to people? It's a great idea on paper, but the logistics part of it becomes mind-numbing. And what happens if you, like Michelle, like I said earlier, what happens if you get a whole box of stuff that you don't use? Because let's say you're a vegetarian or a vegan. I'm more of a vegetarian than a vegan. Yeah, I know that. But I mean, if you are a strict vegan, things like powdered milk is not likely to be something you'll be using. Or powdered butter. You'll be using other products. Yep, exactly. So it's a system that's going to have to be do feasibility studies. Now, I don't think Donald Trump wants to do feasibility studies because he knows dang well when you do a feasibility study, somebody's got their hand out looking for some money to finance it. Oh, exactly. And that certainly is not going to make America great again. No. If you start taking away the local grocers' business rates, they're going to close the doors, since many large grocery stores, 7% of their customers are food stamp recipients. Right. But how about this, though, for the food island people, in the urban environment like myself, which is not urban, it's kind of more of very suburb, is who have very limited access to fresh fruits and vegetables. How about encouraging grocery stores to want to start businesses in these areas? Several bigger grocery store chains have said it's not economically feasible to start businesses in certain communities because there's not enough business rates of sales to compensate. For example, IGA Super Saver closed because not only was John Dwan wanted to retire, but he also pointed out that one of the problems with IGA Super Saver was was a small grocer, and he had to compete against Stop and Shop, which is right outside of town. Stop and Shop still charges an arm and a leg, but he had much larger selections of fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, compared to him. I think he was like a tenth of the size of Super Stop and Shop. So obviously for him, this is going to mean that he's is competing with Davey versus Goliath. Goliath, big, wide, giant, Super Stop and Shop, Target, Aldi. Aldi is a German chain, but they are actually in Torrington, and they were bigger than Super Saver. And so there's a lot of high tech. And he says, right, you are getting less free money because you are paying more for food in Cumberland, so the dollar doesn't go as far. Right, exactly. Because for Michelle and for a lot of others in town, Cumberland Farm is pretty much your main stop. Although Michelle does go to CVS, but they're even less food than Cumberland Farms has. Exactly. Just the whole problem right now is that they don't have a lot of good choices. But you know what? Here's the sad truth. Is if you are living in the suburban environment, you're going to go shopping where you can get food. Now, I have heard from somebody, I don't know if she's telling the complete truth or she's kind of partially kind of embellishing with some baloney, but she said that the local Cumberland Farms is planning to move out of town and over to the Ledgebrook Shopping Center. Now, that's where they're going to basically slice their own throat. Why? Because that's where Stop and Shop is. Cumberland Farms over there makes as much sense as tits on a bowl. Absolutely. No good. No good. Absolutely no good. So, that's where they're going to basically slice their own throat. Why? Because that's where Stop and Shop is. So, besides you watching the Oscars or pre-Oscars, where is everybody else today? Out of my 247 subscribers, you would have thought that some more people would have come on tonight. By the way, did you know that there's a new feature now on YouTube, by the way, Beaver Time, that will allow you to actually, when you replay this video, that the comments or chats in this case that you're typing in a response will actually be available for people to watch after the live stream. And that's going to be pretty cool. Michelle's hoping to see what was happening with the captioning, because so we're going to add captioning as well to it, but I don't know. I don't see those. No, neither. So, of course, Sunday nights are pretty quiet. And let's see, interesting. Let me real with this cord clip. What it cuts into your clothes? It cuts into me. Never mind my clothes. Oh, let's see if I can move this thing so it's less annoying. That's a little bit better. So, let me just show you something right now. Really cool, something statistically interesting for some people who are actually wanted to know this or are watching this coming in a little later on tonight. I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to shrink the screen down here a bit. And, let's see. Command 0, my shoulder's better. Command 0! Okay. I am looking here at subscribers on my channel. And since I got my my old Android phone back, I can actually look at this and see how we are doing. Yep. Okay. 247 subscribers. Minutes watched the last 28 days is 10,244. Views is 3,410. Subscribers is 16. Estimated revenue is $5.02. I don't quite get how that still keep going up when the fact is they shut my revenue down, but they still does go up somewhat. And so we got we're doing okay. We're holding our own. This afternoon's comment was pretty good. Did you refresh the screen? Did I refresh the screen? No. Okay, I'll refresh it to make sure it's not old news. Okay, not much difference. 5 views on the vlog for today. 16 subscribers. 247 subscribers. So we're holding up pretty good overall. So there we go. Go back to the comments. And okay, hi man. Yeah, okay, picture-in-picture? Yeah, it does that. Let me switch that picture-in-picture off since obviously it's not doing me or you any good for that matter. Okay? Sorry about that. Actually, yeah, you're right, it's frozen, so we'll just turn off the overlay because it's not doing us any good. Okay? Alright, so the overlay is acting up. I don't know why it does that, but it's something in the UVC dongle that causes it to do that in this software in CamTwist, where the picture-in-picture will crash. I've tried to find out what causes that with absolutely no luck at all. No luck at all. Let's check something here. Let's see. Preferences. So, keep cameras warm. I turned that off and it didn't make a damn difference. So, come back to this. Okay. Let's see. Ah, it's back again. Okay, so we got the effect back on again. So it's just kind of strange the way it does that. The picture will freeze like that. I don't know why it does that. It just it's just weird. See, you can see me moving around fine now, so that's good. You're gonna make that screen a little bit bigger. I mean, if you can't see it on the, I can just barely read it on the phone. All right, so let's make the screen a little bit bigger, just a little bit. Okay, so Oh, what's this? This is really weird. I never had. Okay. Yep, it's fixed now. I'm not sure why it does that. Or the picture will freeze up like that. I think there's something in this software that doesn't like this API of this dongle, because I saw it do the same thing under iMovie as well. So I don't think it's just this program that does it. But as long as you can see me, that's all that matters. Do you have any questions, by the way? Since obviously we have time, we're waiting for other people to kind of join us on screen. Oh, what's this? This is really weird. I never had. Oh, what's this? This is really weird. I never had. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything's working here in the chat. Okay. I was hoping that the German lady was going to come back on again, but obviously she's not here. And looks like it's going to be one of those slow net chats tonight. How long you're going to sit around here? I don't know. You know, I've had this is before. I mean, I've had this happen before where people would be okay, I'll turn this chats off on the screen here. This is one of those strange. This is before. I mean, I've had this happen before where people would be. No, anyway, the point is it plays. Please. What we should do is maybe make the screen a little bit bigger because it's a little small. A little bigger. There we go. So. This is sort of just. So, how long are you actually going to stand around here and watch this? Me? Yeah, you. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. So, anyway, let's talk about briefly what's going on with the kitties. We got Torres right now is curled up on the chair over in the corner. Rusty and Dusty are laying on the bed. Fame is... I don't know where Fame is. I know he's in the house. He's just... I think he's maybe in the kitchen. And they're not fighting right now. Torres tried to start an argument this morning, but Rusty squelched it. You could say he told his son that no more of those games. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I have no one tonight. It's either the Super Bowl or the Oscars. Oh, God. Yeah, that's... So I guess I'll talk to you later on Beaver Time. And so anyway, tomorrow on Wednesday, the mixer will be back. Yes, we've said that a lot, haven't we? Yes, we have. What did you think about all of a sudden the increase in the number of subscribers on the channel? I think it's going to be pretty good if we can keep the subscribers up. That's always the question. If we can keep the subscribers up, that'll be like 1,000,000 steps in the right direction. So if we can keep the subscriber up, that's going to be wonderful, because it means that we'll be having more people watching us and joining us in the live streams and chats. But, you know, I also think that it's going to be a really tough sell, because I don't really know if I have anything that most of them really want to watch. You really think so? I don't know, don't you? Yeah, I don't know. So he's gonna make some nachos, and what are you gonna do tonight? Me? You? I don't know. I have, you know, I haven't really come up with a plan. And, you know what would be a cool video clip is if you could show people how you use the software to do video production. I like a behind the scenes view of how we use the software to set up the screen. Well, you know, I mean, you always click on it, but you never really show it. Alright, let's do that. Let's show you guys the desktop, since obviously we have nothing to do anyway. I'll leave the overlay off so we can focus on me. Okay, now this is the program we're using. It's called Cam Twist. Now, you will see we have to find here our options. Then we explain, for example, how we do things. For example, if I wanted to, you see I have on here predefined buttons I set up for the CP230, the Formac FS10 Studio, which is on, but it's not being used right now, the generic test card, the splash intro, which is this, for those of you who want to know how to play. So when I click dissolve, it'll switch over to this. Is it short enough? Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I hit cut, and you won't hear it because unfortunately the sound is not passing through to the system. And then after we do the intro, we just go back to and tell it to jump back over to the desktop like this. Okay, so that's the desktop. Then we have the overlay, which you can see in here on the window on the left side. This is our preview window. So now if I click on this now and hit dissolve, or I can hit cut, boom, now I'm in there, okay? So this allows me to make a more polished production, okay? Maybe I don't want to have my face in the bit. I just declick it, and I can hit dissolve, or I can hit cut, and there we are, back to that same screen again. And for the live streams, we have the new Louis Times test cards, the Formac FS10 Studio. Then we have some sub features like the overlays, the FS10 overlays, the Gothic patio, the universe. These are backgrounds. So if I click on the background here, you can see it on the left side. And then, yep, it's better than the Beach Boy. Well, actually, Beach Boys are good. Oh yeah. If we wanted to add, like, we can also have creative anchors names, chroma key screen, things like that. It's just a pretty cool way of doing it. And the software works with FMLE, which is over here. This is the program that actually does the encoding of the streams, and it encodes the streams. It's doing a pretty good rate right now. It's doing at 1900 kilobits per second, 18 frames per second. Maximum bit rate is 2.5 megabits per second, thanks to T-Mobile. And you can see this thing over here on the far left. You see this green and yellow and red bar coming up. That's our sound indicator. That tells me how the sound is going out to the encoding process. And so it makes it really easy to set up the sound system so we get good consistent sound. And that's what we do. So I'll just put this overlay back on here. Overlay I can use kind of as a heartbeat monitor in a sense. When I hit that, is I can now watch the screen. So there I am. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go back to the comments and see if anyone's come in. I don't think I see anybody. No. So, the nice thing is, and then of course got the phone here. See if anyone's come in. I don't think we can listen to the sound and make sure the sound's working fine. So it is. But unfortunately, right now, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. Remember we all watching the Oscars? Or whatever other Sunday night programs are on. Or maybe they're watching Louis Rossman put something together or something. Right. Probably could be any of that at this point. But the whole point is with this principle is that I can use the software to do things. I mentioned that in a couple months ago, my newer iMac. I'm thinking either a 2010 model or maybe something similar to that line. So, let's see what I'm talking about. Let's go back to, since right now I have nothing to do, so let's just try to fill some time here. That time killer. The time killer. Correct. Okay, so this might get a little small. Command 0, Michelle. Command 0. There we go. Let's check the little screen. Now let's go to my eBay account. And now eBay, I do a lot of shopping at eBay. So daily deals. All right, so let's search for an iMac MAC. Okay. And I'm looking for, say, 8 gigabyte. Yeah, let's go for 8 gigabytes. Let's go for better. 8 GB. It's really laggy. It's laggy because this poor computer is having a hard time keeping up right now. Because you're basically trying to make a walk and chew gum at the same time. So it's gonna do that. Just GB. We don't screw up on the spelling. And let's go to desktops and all-in computers. Sure, so I'm gonna put down 21.5 inches. So come on, let's go. When I was a kid, what we would do is sometimes when we used to do with slow internet or phone connections on bulletin boards, we would set it up into chat mode, which would allow us to do kind of the same thing. Alright, so I'm going to go here. I'm not going to worry so much about the years. Here's the 21.5. Okay. This, and then of course, 21.5. 8 gigabyte, 21.5 inches. I'm not going to worry about the processor necessarily. Okay. 21.8. And I wanted to get El Capitan into Corte Duo. Let's see. I'm going to go for... It's slow because the video is taking majority of the bandwidth. Okay? And when it does that, it just slows it right down to the point where it gets pokey. So... let's do it this way. Page down. iMac 21, 2011, 21.5, 2.5 gigahertz core i5, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Warranty $331.55. All in one. i5, 2.5 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM, High Sierra. Doesn't have El Capitan. Doesn't have El Capitan, but it probably still would work fine. What I didn't do, and I should do, it's gonna slow it down like a constipated cow, which is I'm gonna go ahead and tell it looking for lowest price first, and because that's why I shop, I always go for the lowest price first, and then I can go through and then comb through the best offers, or in this case buy it now. So Apple iMac, there's Intel Core 2 Duo 500 gig iMac, $331, $349. Apple iMac, 2.51 gig, 1 terabyte HD, pre-owned, $349. Apple iMac 21.5 Intel Core 2 Duo 5, 2.5 gigabyte, DR3 Sierra, $359. So the whole idea I'm going to do, let me go to the most expensive on that page. Apple iMac 21-inch i7 quad core 2.8 gigahertz all-in-one computer, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte with DVD drive, $820. Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. Off lease 2011 Apple iMac 21.5-inch i7 2.8 gigahertz 8 gigabyte RAM 1 terabyte HD OS Sierra refurbished $459. Apple May 11. The point is that as you can see, you can get some nice desktops from Apple, and since I don't really need a keyboard and mouse, wouldn't you need it? Because Dory would need a keyboard and mouse on the other computer? Yeah. But I already got a keyboard and mouse. I'm thinking about getting myself eventually a nice little mechanical keyboard, say using Cherry Blue MX switches. Ooh, noisy. Yeah, think about this though. What? The people won't be able to say bullshit and say, Michelle's typing. No, you wouldn't be able to say that. You wouldn't be able to hear it. You wouldn't be able to hear it. Right. It says, we are the power. Okay, now we're just getting here. Hi. Personally, I hate Apple products. You could save money in long term, use it to improve your life, or more. Move to a place of better desire. Unfortunately, people of peace, I don't think there's any place in this timeline that I would be able to find a place I personally desire. I would be much happier in a place that doesn't exist anymore. Why? Because almost everything today is gone computerized and technical, and that's just the nature of as far as hating Apple products. Yeah, Louis Rossmann doesn't particularly like them either. However, compared to Windows, okay, well, it did go down a bit. It did go down, but then it came back up again, and you did lose some frames. Right. So, like old school, like you. Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I am more into the Victorian life, gaslights, horse and carriage, beautiful dresses, But it's irony is everybody talks about the Victorian era. They're always talking about the gilded people, the ones that were well-to-do, that held all the nice money. The sad truth is the average worker in Victorian London and Victorian United States were not doing as well. There was absolutely positively some of the workers were really, really treated as expendable. But yeah, I mean, after all, I mean, as far as old school, I mean, I look at my television. It's a CRT TV. I enjoy, watching a CRT screen. But I try to understand, well, yeah, there might be some place somewhere, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to achieve it. So, I mean, I'm just trying to muddle through life like every other human being on this earth. Maybe someday there'll be a place where I belong. Maybe in a mother and father God, as you may know, control time. They can go anywhere in time. We can put us in any time period. When we go home, we can be placed in any dimension of the world or any dimension in the universe. So that's... Well, right now, if I can save $600, that'll be a hell of an improvement. So, like I explained to Ruben, is that if I can save $600 in 3 months, that's a milestone. Because saving $600 in my checking or savings account would be a milestone because it would start making it as an interest-bearing instrument, and I will actually be able to use that money to do a variety of things. Like, for example, I need new sneakers. I'm not sure exactly what the Mandela effect is, but we have seen people that apparently are from the future. Take a look at Nikola Tesla, for example. He was way ahead of his time with his developments of alternating current, his radio, his technology. There was a lot of technology that he created that really didn't seem to fit in for the time period that he lived in. And then if you think about it, it's no irony that he won the battle of the currents against Thomas Edison, because he knew something about the best way to make use of power, and that's important to remember. But the most cool thing, yeah, I could take a vacation, but vacations, I have responsibilities with my cats. I don't know who will take care of my cats, and that's always going to be an issue. So yeah, I could take a trip. I could take a transatlantic steamer, go to, say, overseas, but I have no idea. I don't know. That's one of those slang terms, kind of like PWND, meaning owned. What does that mean? So I don't know what doxed means. You have to look it up on Google and find out what that term means. I have no clue. Well, I think as far as the computer goes, since Michele is pretty much really wants to share in this day and age, the requirements is that you have to be able to get yourself onto the internet. It's very similar in some ways to what was going on in the Victorian era, because where there you would have to be able to get to like the local library. Wait. I wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas. Definitely not. I could go to Atlantic City too, but I don't want to go to Atlantic City for the same reason I wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas. Because I remember when I was younger and I was graduating from high school, and I took my entire Social Security. I was living home with Mom and Dad at the time. All $484, and I blew it into cents. It didn't take me long to blow $484 on the slot machine. That's for sure. I didn't win anything out of it. It was just, the slot machines are rigged almost always to the house wins. You're never going to win with a slot machine. And I've done that in multiple casinos, and I felt like same thing as, this is a waste of time. Same thing when you buy lottery tickets. I know Dory loves lottery tickets, but I never could get into it because it's like, in the case of the lottery, the state of Connecticut, in my case, is going to basically be making its share of the proceeds. The funny thing was the lottery was intended for was to allow people to buy tickets, and then that money and the proceeds were supposed to be used towards the educational system. Oh, that didn't quite work out that way. No, that's not what Michele wants anyway. What Michele would like to do is take a trip, or one-way trip preferably. No, I don't think Michele has watched that. No, I haven't. But, like as I said, I'm kind of a goth anyway. I really kind of want to go back in time to the, mid-Victorian era. I'd fit in really well there. Except they were really hard on the blind then. They were, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you were blind in the Victorian era, you were considered no good for anything. Even though we know that the blind and the handicapped can do a lot of skills, back then, not so much. So maybe if there is an alternative timeline in your next life, if we went to where people blind... Right. Well, as I said, I'm not interested in Jamaica. It's too hot for me. I thought about going over to Canada, but I have to get a passport. Yeah, and I don't want to experience that again. Nope. I was going to go to the Hotel de Glace in Quebec. And I wanted to go there, but unfortunately, I don't have a passport yet. So I can't go to Quebec to go to the Hotel de Glace. Glace. Maybe in a couple of years I could, but I have so many things I need to do. Well, anyway, how are you yourself doing? Are you doing okay? Is you and your lady friend doing okay? Well, I don't know exactly where her Hotel de Glace is. I don't know where it actually is in Quebec. I can look it up. It's an ice hotel. That's what it means in English. Hotel de Glace means hotel of... Actually, it means like hotel of ice or ice hotel. It's the only one in the North American continent. Well, I don't like being on the beach. I don't like being in the sun because I burn too easy. If I was to go anywhere near any kind of ocean, it would be in an environment where maybe a colder environment, or maybe one where I could, just look around. Because I never really got into the beach scene. Not that I never went to the beach as a kid. I did with my parents. I'm doing okay. My friend made some bad choices. She had a so-called boyfriend. He lied to her. She ended up getting raped by a group of thugs, and she had to call the police. Ouch. Isn't that good? Yeah, there is. There are beaches on the shoreline. You can go to Hammonasset. You can go to New Haven, Bridgeport, New London, Old Saybrook, Ledyard. Yeah, because if you look at the beach, it's the whole southern part of Connecticut is like right on the beach. Water is okay. I don't have a problem with water. I mean, one of my elementals is water, but for me, mixing it with salt does not really do me any good. And mixing it with chlorine in the swimming pool is even worse. Because my hair, if I was in the wrong kind of chlorine, my pool had copper pipes, my hair would turn green. So that wouldn't be too nice. No, green hair. Yeah. You look like the sea hag. The sea hag. Hey. Exactly. I think that once you get to be in my situation after so many years, you just kind of stop believing you can do anything. Autoglass at Quebec. It's 1860 Boulevard, Valakint. Yeah, I got to Quebec. Okay, so where is? No, I don't know where exactly is the Hotel de l'Est. Where actually is, I mean, where is this area, Valcartier, Quebec? How far away is that from you? I know you live in the eastern part of Canada. I don't know exactly how close you are to that place, because I mean it's a tourist thing, and I think it opens in November through March. Well, with the new climate change, with the new global cooling, it might be open year round. It could. Oh, you're supposed to be able to post the link. I did turn on link posting. So let me see. Okay. I did turn on the posting links in the video before I started, and it was all set to go. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to post the link. That's no joke. That's the truth. I did turn that on. For some reason, I don't know why, it wouldn't let you post a link. Let me take a look at this. Okay. It's settings. Yada yada yada. Let's take a look here. You should actually shrink the screen share. Enable live chat. Automatically block spam messages turned off. It does not say anything about not allowing. What if this was on? Let's just see what it says here. Okay. It says automatically block spam, such as long messages in all caps or repeat identical messages by the same user. Okay, well, obviously that's not where it mentions anything about not allowing people to post links. Let's see. So I don't see why it wouldn't let you post a link. You're supposed to be able to post it, because I said it for that function. Yep. So, yeah. So let me go back to the chat. Oh, that's the wrong screen. What? Dude, you went to another page. I went to another page. Okay. So, you want, okay. I want to move to a small town farm, as I told you before, in 1 to 2 years. Yeah, but you know, in my case, moving to a small town, and I already live in a small town, and for the legally blind, it's problematic at best. Because, honestly, for the legally blind, it's So sound's working fine. Sounds fine today. So anyway, Ruben, you'll notice that tonight the sound is better. I told you I'd work on the wiring. Yeah, I told you I'd try to figure out what's going on with the microphones and stuff like that. So, but my experience of living in a small town is just that I want to get back to Peace's comment here. Is if you are unable to drive a car. Okay, thank you. December 23rd to March 25th, 2018. Yeah, the Hotel Glace. Yeah, I was aware that was March. But given what's going on with the new climate change, you're going to probably be seeing it open more longer. Who may knows? It might even start being open to May in, say, about 5 years. Well, and you have to be able to go where the jobs are. That may not be a small town, especially if you don't have transportation. Because you got to be able to get to where the jobs are. It's almost like a variation of a song by Cannon Francis. Where the jobs are, something waits for me. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything, Ruben. But maybe you can kind of disguise it somehow. I don't know. Maybe like just put the letters www space main link space next part of the link space next part of the link, and then we can combine it together. And I did not tell it not to allow comments, and it's irritating. Yeah, I know. But I was surprised that there's not really too many people on here right now. I'm really looking to see who's on here. Participants, only 3 people. Where are the rest of you guys? Where is the rest of you guys? Yeah, I admit, that's a great question. Yeah. So let me just type that question. Where is the rest of the people? Question. Yeah, where is everybody? A couple nights ago, we had a chance of having a really good live stream. We had the German Rhonda on. We had the American Rhonda said she was possibly going to come on, but she kind of still taking care of her husband. And she kind of wanted to meet the German Rhonda in chat. And obviously, neither Rhonda is on right now. So, do you think they're all watching the Oscars? I don't know. Could be. Do you ever sometimes sit here and ask yourself, why do you do this twice a week? You come on here, and some days it's like, it's drier and deader than the Sahara Desert. I don't know. And some days the things are like jumping like the most fertile valleys of the Tiber. Yeah, or Egypt, Nile River Valley. I don't know. That's a great question. And I have no idea why that is. So, anyway, Ruben, I was showing people a piece earlier, something on eBay, one of the computers I'm looking into for the future, is that if I can save Dory's money for 3 months, or even 2 months, I could get a nice Mac, and I could probably get, and possibly, if I manage to save it for 3 months, I could also get myself a new pair of sneakers, and or maybe even an MPEG encoder. Maybe. The problem is is I've discovered that I don't know how well the MPEG encoder is going to work for us. Because of the way our internet works. It doesn't exactly directly plug right into my MiFi. You can use the RONET adapter, but it's laggy. It's lagging. Did I see your comment? Which one would that be? Last one I saw is if living life to make you happy and someone you love is important too. But living a life that makes you happy and somewhere you love is important too. Otherwise you feel depressed or like life is pointless or is to find their soul home. Well, the thing is that I honestly have not really found that perfect place yet. I think that building I talk about in my dreams is important. I think that's important because not that it's necessarily a prison. No, I saw them. I did see them. But I mean, like, is that Gothic building that I was talking about? I think that there's something about that that's very special to me, because it's really a pretty place when the gas layers are lit, and you can see the gallery really well, and you can see the interior of the room. It's really very pretty. But unfortunately for me, the reason why it's become kind of a I don't know, I'm trying to think of the right word here. Somebody mentioned it to me one time. Archetype. Is it an archetype? I don't know. It could be an archetype. If it's an archetype, okay. Let's just say it's an archetype. I don't know if that is. Do we have a dictionary on this thing? We do have a dictionary, yes. Let's see if I can find something here. Let's see. Language settings. Cutting. Okay. Let me just check something on the internet, guys. I don't want to make a mistake and say something I don't mean. Okay, let's go to over here and pull up a definition to make sure I got this right. Archetype. Okay. Okay, I got it. We got this special little handy dandy searching thing. It screws it up. Okay. What? You'll see it changes to the top. So we're going to go ahead and type in, okay, what is archetype? S-A-R-C-H-T-Y-P-E, archetype. Okay, so I think that's going to go to dictionary.com. Let's see what it says. Because one of the things that a late friend of mine, Bonnie Edwards, who was tied into spirituality, says is you skip the whole layer of archetypes. So let's see for... Okay, from Yahoo Answers below are several websites that show thoroughly the idea of archetype in Macbeth. I'm not sure how, but I found the switches archetype for years. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go, from dictionary.com. The concept of an archetype appears in areas relating to behavior modern, but a very typical example of a certain person or thing. Let's see. Archetypes, discover yours, literary devices. Let's see. So, Oxford Dictionary. So let's go to this one here. Okay. Boy, this is fun. Okay, so there's some more notes here. An original that has been imitated. Okay. A recurring symbol or motif of miniature or mythology. and Jungian psychology, a primitive image inherited from the earliest human ancestors and supposed to be present in the collective unconsciousness. Oh, well, okay. I think a recurring symbol or motif in this case would probably be the most accurate. That is what is it about this Gothic building that is important to me? I don't know. I think I might want to move there. Well, no, I don't think so. Okay, so I wouldn't want to move to Mississippi or Louisiana. It's too hot. Although it's lower cost living. Yes, it is. Alright, Ruben says, a noun, typical example of a certain person or thing, quote, the book is a perfect archetype of the genre and original that has imitated the archetype faith of Abraham. Or I'm impatient tonight, going out for a jog. Well, I don't know what the weather's like where you are right now, but where it is now here, it's not exactly that exciting. So you think that Gothic structure is important as a theme? It keeps recurring in your dreams. Yeah, it does. Okay. It definitely is of Victorian Gothic structure. It's very pretty. But I don't know about Washington State. It's very expensive in Washington State because of the two reasons. One is Microsoft and two is Boeing. But if you go to areas where the logging industry is most prevalent, well, okay. Is there any particular reason why you wouldn't want to stay in Canada? Because, Canada has some advantages too. Like free dental, free medical. Well, it's not free. You pay for it. You gotta get a health card. Yeah. But if it's something like a life-threatening issue, that's why many Canadians come to the United States for medical care. That's true. That's very true. They do come to the United States for medical care. Absolutely true. So why would you necessarily, people of peace, would you really want to leave Canada? Since, as I said, there is some advantages to Canada. I know Michelle would like to go to the UK. I want to go to the UK, but then I have to abdicate the throne. I can't be a Stone Queen of North America if I'm in UK, because that's Frasia's territory. So, and I don't think she would want me as a North American Snow Queen to be in the UK, because that would be an issue. Well, how so? How could it say I can easily move on? Oh, okay. Right. You're talking about right. Serbia, Croatia. Or how is the situation back home, and why would you say what you said is crazy? Things are kind of slow. We have people of peace. Ruben was on. He said he wanted to go out and take a jog. Right now, we were talking earlier about where we would like to be able to go if the resources were there and the right areas were open to us. And I was talking about that Gothic building, and I'm thinking that there's something special about that, or I'm looking for maybe a place like that Gothic structure, with nice working gas lights and stone, and it's nice, it's huge, but I don't know if it really exists in this time. We're mentioning that briefly that Divine Mother and Father God can also, when we go home, we can be placed into other dimensions of time and space. Hey, let's see. Which cat is this? Looks like Rusty, the big beast. The big beast wants to go outside. Let me let Rusty out, okay? So... you've been inside all day. Yeah, you have the right to go outside. Myself, so hold on a minute. What? Wait, you didn't get fed. Oh yeah, this is kind of empty. I haven't seen you all day, Kane. What have you been doing? Oh, you have water. Yeah, you do. Actually, you should fill up the water dish now for you. Just give me a second. Okay, got fresh water, we got food. Okay. I cleaned your care box earlier. Okay, let me plug in my cord. Okay. So let me see, where was I? I know I might want to say before I go home. I want to go somewhere rural and disappear, live with my cats and one dog, very private, very country. What's the call number? The phone won't be working until Wednesday, but the phone number will be given out at the time we are actually able to take phone calls on Wednesday. At this point, we can't take phone calls. But we hopefully soon the phone will be back on again. And so I just wanted to make sure everything's working. Yep, okay. So we're having some problems with the screen earlier. So we don't right now, we're not taking phone calls at this minute, but we hope to have that all working ready for Wednesday again. So hello Scamia. Who is Scamia? How much does it cost to have a call-in system? Well, it's the system I got. You just gotta have a regular home phone line that you can use, so that'd be from your local phone company. The collar one, XAPTH2, I bought on eBay secondhand for about, with shipping for about $30, and then it plugs in to a mixer like the one I have, which will be back on Tuesday. So this is a Behringer Behringer Q1202 USB. It could be potentially used with other kinds of mixers as well, but I found that it's best to plug in the sound going to the XAPTH2 and using the FX send hole going to the clear one, because if you don't, it's going to basically have a feedback issue. And because of that, and the fact is I already have these cables pre-made, I don't want to have to change them. So I would say you probably can get a relatively nice call-in system set up if you're willing to go with used parts for maybe, you know, besides the monthly phone bill, which is depending on your area you live in, is like $30, and that'll be a recurring monthly cost. And then you have the unit I have is $30. And then last of all, you need a mixer so you can mix in the calls and with the microphones. I'll show you a video on it. When I get the equipment back, I will... Actually, I already did a video on it. If you look earlier this year, around, I think, around earlier January, I did a video explaining how it all connects. But some people say that my setup is a little more expensive. There's also another option for those of you who would insist on using Google Hangouts on air call from online cell phone or cell phones or communication system similar to Grand Central. I don't know much about that, but no, I do not listen to the radio show Midnight in the Desert. Lately, I haven't been listening to much at all. I suppose you've been reading a lot, watching a lot of YouTube videos, but I haven't been listening to any particular call-in shows. You guys probably do know that that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now with I know a place. I know a place. What do you mean by that? Guess where? I don't know where. Go ahead. I don't even know what place you're talking about. It's a host of which you need to listen. Well, if there's a live stream, if there's a stream on YouTube, I'll probably find it. It's called Midnight in the Desert. No laws and no other than being nice with it. Yeah, there's a couple communes in Missouri like that. But it's not like you get away like for free because you're required to be a part of the community responsibilities. Whatever happened to Chin Chin, by the way? I was hoping to hear more from Chin Chin. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how much longer Slab City is going to exist, given the fact that California is kind of cracking down on homelessness right now. And I don't think it would be environmentally a good choice for me. It's actually in the desert of California. It's still maintained by the state of California. It does have, of course, jurisdiction over it, but I think for the most part they don't really focus it on too much. But there are communities and communes and different states that you can go to, but you're required to be a participant and actively working among the community to make the community successful, which is fine. But unfortunately for so many people, they're just not necessarily going to always go for that. Participant actively. Okay, and I know that sounds stupid. Make the community successful, which is fine. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm just checking the sound. And I mean, I think that I think deep down I gotta find that yeah, I know, but it's still technically not a micronation because it has not even applied to establish its independence. Okay, unlike Sealand, or Sealand is a micronation, and so this 1967 is probably the most successful. ASMR videos. I don't really know if I've got what it takes to do ASMR videos. I don't have. I mean, I know that there's certain sounds that create ASMR but I don't think Asmir, as Big Clive would say. But I don't think my voice is Asmir-like. I tried to remember that video there I did with that demo. My soul is my firmware. That is my best thing I got to. Trying Asmir, kind of like Poppy, without getting to be encroaching on her intellectual property. The echo effect was an after effect, but I thought it was kind of cool. So one of the things I want to do is eventually, when we get everything set up again, we're going to be able to play sound. Well, this is what it sounded when I originally said it on the phone or on the camera. My soul is my firmware for my brain. My body is the support system of blood, guts, and bone. There we go. So you said quick try. It's as quick as I can get. So, yeah, I know Asmir video is pretty popular. But some of us are really not too good with it. So R11H30, have you heard anything from Will Grace or Chin Chin? I was really hoping to have those two on again, and because Chin Chin seemed pretty knowledgeable about spiritual things, and she's not here now. I was hoping she's gonna come back out again. Yeah. Here now, I was hoping she's gonna come back out again. Pretty popular. It's a hit with the young millennials. Yes, I know. It's also kind of popular with some older generations too. I hope so. Or maybe here Wednesday, considering that Wednesday we'll be taking phone calls. That's right. If everything goes according to plan, the equipment works properly, Michelle and I will be taking phone calls on Wednesday. Everybody's probably watching the Oscars, which I didn't even know was on. So, it's one of those things I keep running into, things that I don't always know what's going on. You know, you ever notice when you're looking at the camera and it's like you got the damn pole in your face? Well, let's see if we can get the phones working correctly, and I don't see why not. I mean, once that Behringer, they worked on it, they fixed it up, as far as I got the impression from the message, and it will be back here by Tuesday. So hopefully everything goes according to plan, and everybody should be able to receive phone calls. You can pass the message along to anybody else who may not have known that. Because I want to get the phones back on too, because I kind of miss having the phones, because sometimes they were fun. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens. It's like my life, you know. But, you know, I just realized something too, is that we're talking, Ruben and I were, and People Peace and I were talking about the money that I'm saving up for the computer. One of the things is that I really want to get a better system. You'll figure it out. You know, you're just going to probably end up doing Johnny Cash did. I've been everywhere, man, I've been everywhere. Just go travel, find different areas and see which one feels good. Even if it's more like Jen Howard's Bad Seed. Bad seed won't grow just anywhere. I need lots of sunshine. I need lots of raindrops. I need to breathe the open air. I want to beg your pardon. More time to save my garden. Bad seed won't grow just anywhere. And honey, you're looking best at the bad seed. Well, yeah, he had quite good songs. I had one of his records called about a song called "Come Ride This Train" and "Sunday Morning Coming Down," and a few other songs in his record. My dad was into him. My dad listened to a lot of Johnny Cash when he was younger in the 70s. But what is important to remember is that in this journey of life, we're going to be traveling, well, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, you really want to spend 1,000 hours a month? You can rent an apartment here in Connecticut for about 300 less. Well, that's 300 American, though. I mean, 700 American. That's not Canadian. Well, my dad has passed away a couple years ago. So, my father has been on the other side right now, and I always get the strong impression that he's kind of rooting for me and hoping that I'm going to be successful at what I'm doing. My dad is a smart cookie, but like I said, he's home on the other side right now. My mother is still alive, but she's still grumpy and grudge like always, so she's not talking to me. We haven't talked since about 2004 or 2005 maybe. So yeah. My dad used to spend a lot of time working with my dad and things in the shop. You know how Abe is getting his daughter involved in machining, symbol level things right now. She's only 6 years old and she's kind of getting into it, and she's working with her old man and doing things in his shop with him. My dad kind of did the same thing with me with wood, because my dad was a woodworker. He used to make things. I still got some of his furniture he made me. I got my desk in my bedroom and my stereo cabinet. He made that. It's granted, I call it kind of contemporary, kind of heavy oak contemporary, but it's people said to me, "Why don't you just turn it into firewood?" I'm like, why? My dad made those cabinets. They're one of a kind. There's never will be a reproduction of those cabinets. Although the desk kind of got changed a bit, because originally it had a hutch on the top. We ended up taking the hutch off because I had no place to put it. And so, because of that reason, the desk was, we had to remove the top hutch for the desk because it wouldn't fit in the storage bin. But maybe someday I'll make another piece that goes on the top. People used to say my desktop used to remind them of a China hutch. Well, it kind of was like a China hutch. It was made to my specifications for a couple of my computers. Technically, everything is one of a kind, right? Yeah, we could say that. It's not. But things in mass production, you don't really think about like the uniqueness of different items. Take, for example, most iPhones, most computers, most of them are made in the assembly line, mass produced. But when you have a craftsman making things, he's not working on so much to make things all duplicates of each other. They put a lot of their own ideas into a product that's one of a kind. It's just like me and Lumi. Yeah, we're one of a kind. There's not too many of us out there. There's none of us out there like us. We are ourselves. We are unique. Yeah. Oh boy, it's almost time to get ready to wrap it up for tonight. Like I would like to remind everybody who's watching this, even if you watch this after the show is over, according to the new YouTube system, you will be able to re-watch the comments as if you were here watching them in person. So in other words, you will have the option to go back to the comments and look at what I'm answering questions to, and you can follow along. So, R11830, what do you personally think of my YouTube channel? How did you find it? I mean, that's a question. How did you find my YouTube channel? Were you just looking at one of the videos that was on a featured video or suggested video, and you went, hey, this is kind of cool? Yeah, I wonder if that's how you found it. That's how a lot of people said they find my comments. Yeah. So I can get rid of the poll? Get rid of the poll! Oh! Yeah, I can. If I took the poll off, my entire platform that the computer's sitting on would basically go flying to the floor. Oh, okay, that won't work. Trying to look more at the camera, that might help. I forget how I found it. Honestly, I found it a week ago, but I have enjoyed it so far. Look forward to future videos, content. Well, I'm going to do my best this short, trying to create new content. That's the other reason I'm trying to save up that money. It's just so I can, yeah, because the pole is like supports the whole upper shelf on this desk. Without that pole, the thing would actually ruin the structural integrity. This here is the pole I'm talking about. This is the pole that supports the monitor, and it supports the telephone interface in the top. And there's an inkjet printer above that. Headphones. I'm going to try to get some new content in. That's what I'm going to do. That's my goal. But I'm not really sure exactly what kind of content, because it seems like my goals have changed so much in the last few years. I think you miss most of all, I think, is being able to demonstrate products. Yeah. I do. I kind of miss being able to buy things and then set them up and show you how they work, and unboxing demos, and yeah, I miss those things. I used to do a lot of wonderful things back when I had Section 8. I mean, I was buying, something inexpensive things, and then buy them, and then I'd show you how they work and things like that. And then when I lost my Section 8, because my landlord blew his temper up at the Section 8 guy, I had to basically change my whole way of doing things because of the lack of funds to buy extra good stuff to show you. And then it ended up becoming more an intellectual talk channel. We tried news coverage, covering news stories. That really resulted in all kinds of nasty problems because of, as you will find when you go through the channel, there was a lot of people earlier this year that were not at all complimentary, and so I ended up basically going up on the news streams, but then I still wanted to do other video demos. I still want to go back to demos. I really do. Yeah, I mean, I deep down I love sharing and teaching, and that's what I like to do. So, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to focus on. Yeah, I mean, I deep down I love sharing and teaching, and that's what I like to do. The video plays pretty good on the phone. It does, yeah. Oh, That's what I'm gonna. So, yeah. It's not so much just censorship. It's an issue as much. What it is there's a group of people. They're called. I'm not making this up. I got news articles on YouTube News. I mentioned that in the video. That they're a alt-right troll organization that have been attacking people on YouTube because of the fact is that the YouTube content creators, if they don't like your opinions, they try to hit you, dislike you a million times, so your content ends up basically in the cellar, and then of course their content that they prefer, a quick like until there's no tomorrow, and of course their content goes to the top of the page in suggested views, and that really was potentially totally devastating to me and my channel. And I almost got to the point where I was ready to basically commit suicide because I didn't know what to do anymore, because I know that I loved something. I love doing these. But then Lumi said to me, you gotta keep trying. It's not your fault. Don't let them get to you. You're a smart person. You can make it. It's just you got to think of a new way to do it. Yeah, but I don't think they're the only ones. Because there's not too many places even for a centrist view. It makes it hard. Well, at one point I was pretty deep in despair because of all the bad people, the bullies. It was just so bad. If you look at the earlier videos from last year or even earlier this year, they were not my best videos. I mean, I was really in very deep despair because of the situation. But like Lumi told me, is you have to finish your time on Earth. If you do that, honestly, seriously, you ever do that, you're gonna have to repeat the whole exercise all over again. But I mean, I don't want to have to come back here a second time and go through the same stuff over and over again repeatedly, because that would really seriously would be emotionally devastating. And so I said to Lumi, well, let's try our best to get this situation worked out as best we can so we don't have to repeat it a second time. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm focusing now on trying to do things that I know people do like. And they do like unboxing videos. They do like demos. And so yes, when I get the money together and saved up, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do positive things. I was going through a lot. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I mean, well, actually, you can find it yourself. Take a look at the videos from 2017. There's so many examples of why, what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to go through and play them all, especially the live streams. I have never been attacked so much and by so many people in such a short period of time that really wears on you. It just tears you up inside, because you can do better. It's not your fault. Well, I said, Kellen, like I kept saying repeatedly, the phones won't not be online until Wednesday. The phones will not be back online until Wednesday. So, of course, it's going to keep going to voicemail, because unfortunately, there's no way I can even put you on the air right now. So, I'm just checking the phone right now. So, as soon as the phones are working, which will be on Wednesday, he will be taking phone calls. So, on Wednesday, check them again. I will be giving the phone number once everything is tested and working, and you will be able to be on the chat. Okay? The same thing for everybody else. At this point, that's what I'm hoping is going to go on. I hope that everything is going to go fine. But I still think deep down is that I too, like I said about the Gothic structure I was talking to people Peace earlier about, is that I really want to find this Gothic building. I just want to find it because where is this place? Why do I keep thinking about this place? It must mean something. I know it could be an archetype from my mind, but I think that it might actually exist. It's a pretty place. It's just that, well, when all the gas lights are lit, it's really nice inside. Well, as I said, the phones can't be used until our mixer comes back from the repair shop, and they will be here on Wednesday, by Tuesday. And then we'll be plugging all the phones back in, and then everybody on Wednesday night will be on their phone. They will be able to make phone calls. That is my goal. I always said that so many times in the vlogs and the BCast, that the phones will be back online by Wednesday. Okay? And that's what I'm promising. Okay? So, and as far as the other issue, which is with Google Hangouts on Air, they never fixed that on the older Chrome. They never fixed that yet. I check it. I can call. I can call out. I can dial phone numbers on Google Chrome, but I can't actually hear people that are trying to talk to me. So I don't know what they changed in the Google Chrome, Google Hangouts app, but they really dropped the ball here when you can hear them, or they can hear you, but you can't hear them. So that's the reason why we're not using Google Hangouts on Air. In addition to the fact that Google Hangouts on Air does horrific things to the video and really changes it down to, what is it, 640 by 360? Something like that. 640 by 360! You're losing a whole bunch of resolutions to try to make a screen look like a widescreen. I have a standard definition video, which means that, guess what? Your picture is being cropped to hell. The sound is terrible in some cases. Phones don't always work. What is a mushagnunha? Is that like a rabbi? A mushuhuna. Can a computer pronounce that? What does that word mean? I don't know. I have no idea. I think what I could really use more than anything is I could use prayers. Because, you know, we can always use prayers because, you know, my life is hard. Anyone who's ever been legally blind, has hearing loss, has arthritis in their left knee, has to walk around every day because they have no car. You know, your body after a while hurts. And I can use all the prayers just to keep going. Okay. Well, maybe you could ask him to pray for me. I think prayer is what we really need more right now. Is people to pray. Pray for me. Pray for the people like me that have to go through life every day pretty much by themselves. Who have no support system. We really need prayers. I am not one of those people who will turn it down. If someone prays for me, I would be appreciative. It's just like the song by the Beatles, Help. I need somebody, not just anybody. I'll take anybody's prayer. If you can pray for me to your God or Goddess, it would be great. Because, you know, I don't really have very many people to help me. I have to do everything by myself. and which makes my show doesn't seem very professional because I have to do everything by myself, everything. Because reason, like I mentioned earlier about the phone system, people wonder why our phone system is not as professional. It's not because the equipment isn't capable of being there. The problem is with no assistants to help me to handle the phone calls, to make sure that the callers are, the phone calls are going well. It's hard to do it all by myself. And yeah, I do, because that's the only choice I have, is me and Lumi. And sometimes I wish we could separate so I could help Michelle in other ways, as a physical person. It's always the same. Michelle's never moved. Well, I think we could ask him probably better if you could pray for me. I think that would be a good start. Start a prayer chain. I mean, we could really use all the prayers we can get. I don't think you would be seeing a person who's supposed to need an exorcism saying, "I can need a prayer chain." I watched a couple more videos, but I'm not really sure people please if I feel totally comfortable with some of her content. It just she's something about her content. It just doesn't quite jive with me. I love the books by Sylvia Brown, as you know, and I love listening to Rebecca Marina Messenger. But sometimes Rebecca seems to want to focus on things that I don't really hold up as important, like wealth and success and things like that. But that's what she wants to focus on, and that's, as a teacher, that's what she can't focus on. I'm not going to stop her. And I appreciate what you said, people. Power that you'll pray for me. I appreciate that. I mean, I can use all the prayers you can give. I'll pray that God bless you, or the demons in your head. I don't think the demons in my head is really an issue. Unless you're talking about depression. That's a demon. That would be considered a demon, isn't it? Yeah. The feeling of helplessness. It's what most important thing is Dr. Peter Bergen, psychiatrist, said is with depression is it's not your fault. It's not your fault if you're depressed. You need to understand that depression is part of life, and that, if you are having depression issues, it's not because anything you have done or have failed to do. But maybe it could have been because of bad choices, but you got to basically pick yourself up and you got to go ahead and say, what can I do to change this? Yeah. Well, like Michelle said, it's depression is a beast of a problem. So if you guys want to start a prayer chain, have your friends pray, your friends' friends pray, that'd be great. How can we be surely sure? Certainly I do not know that I'm experiencing the voice of demons in my head. Okay. How can one be fully sure? Question. However, I do know that I am not experiencing the voices of demons in my head. That I am sure of. And I am too. But I gotta say one thing. Depression can be used by the dark entities to destroy your spirit. Because if you were a child of the Divine Father and Mother God, any kind of ways that they can find a crack in your spiritual armor, they're going to use. And if there's a sense of lack of self-worth, they're going to use that. They're going to do everything they can to break you. And that is, I think, what was going on, like I mentioned earlier, in late 2017. That was where these people were trying to do the same thing. They were trying to break me. And they just about did. But it was Lumi who said, you got to keep going. You got to keep trying. You got to shake the dust off your feet and say, I'm going to keep trying. Right. I do. She does. She talks to me. She talks to Lemmy. Right. The point is that it doesn't necessarily mean it's demonic. It all depends on the person that you're talking to, is the way they act towards you. Because I'm not a demon. That's why. That's right. Why would I be a demon if I'm trying to help Michele to save her money, to prepare for doing something good and trying to improve her life? A demon wouldn't do that. A demon would say, take that $200 right now, blow it. Just blow it. It's yours. It's free. Blow it. Don't give a damn what happens in 2 weeks. Just blow it all. I don't want Michele. I told Michele, put it in the savings account, and so that it would actually earn interest. Once she meets the minimum of $250, Michele can make a 1-year APR interest on that. Exactly. Actually, we speak out loud. We speak out loud because it's easier. But we do talk internally if necessary through clairaudience. But normally we speak out loud. It's more comfortable for me and her. Well, that's an interesting question, considering the fact is, where in the heck did you ever come up with that? Even if you look up the name Lumi and Michele in Italian, it means window of enlightenment. That does not sound like a demon. But there are people, you know what I'm talking about, that do try to say that they're good people when they're not. Yeah. You said that sometimes... You said you sometimes make up things just for your show that are not necessarily true in real life. Can you say... I think some of my behaviors on the show, I kind of exaggerate my personality a little bit as far as my way I feel about myself. Really, if you got to know me in private, I'm really a very quiet person. I don't really talk to too many people, so I stay to myself. So, no, I can answer that. Absolutely not. No, she's real. She's genuine. But some of the other stuff I do on the show, I kind of try to ham it up a little bit for the camera. But if you got to know me in person, I'm a very quiet person. And I'm very, very much into that gothic room I keep talking about. I'm a very personal person. I read a lot of books, watch a lot of YouTube videos, but other than that, I don't really do much. Oh yeah, I go to the soup kitchen, I talk to a few select people there at the soup kitchen, and that's about all. That's all I do every day. And not exactly very exciting. Whereas when I'm on the computer, I can be a little more flexible, but that doesn't mean that if you got to know me, the person, you'd see that some of the stuff that I do on camera may seem a little forced, but really, I'm not really that exciting. I'm very quiet. You know, Michelle's a thinker. Yeah. Is Lemmy a voice you actually hear, or is it made up? It's not made up. No, in fact, it's not made up at all. In fact, Michele and I share the same brain, the same part, the completely compartmentalized part of the brain. But we're two souls in one body. Michele has some friends that have the ability to do psychic, and they noticed that they're two souls, and they're both benevolent souls. On the other hand, let me ask you this question, Jewish Chef. If I was theoretically the person you think I was, what would Michele benefit being totally isolated from everything that she loves, when she's already lost everything else that she loves? I mean, you're talking about putting a person equivalent in solitary confinement. Michele has nothing. I can't see weird. Why can't I not see we are the power's messengers? No, I don't block anybody. Nobody's being blocked. Yeah, you can ask her a couple questions. If you want to. Well, let's put it this way. We have what we call a condition called associative. Oh, what was it? Not dissociative identity. So we have associative identity order. We have AIO, which means that it's the two work together to do things. So because unlike multiple personality disorder, which is a coping strategy, people with AIO, it's not even listed as a DSM-4 definition or DSM-5. The two work together as a team. Okay? Okay, he wants to ask me questions now. Go ahead. How you doing, people? Oh, we have the power. Are you a spiritual being? Yes, I am. And you are a spiritual being as well, as you are also on earth at the same time. So you are a spiritual being in a corporal body that was given by Divine Mother and Father God. The power of Christ compels you. When power of Christ compels me, how so? What can you tell me about from the spiritual plane view? You're a young man who's questioning his identity and his existence in this great world. You haven't found your path yet, but I strongly think you will. You have many years ahead of you. The future is always there for you. There are many roads you can take, and many of those roads may not always be good roads. But if you focus on the main task at hand of serving the Divine Father and Mother God, you will achieve your success of your life chart. Next question, please. And if anybody else would like to ask me questions too, I will answer them as best I can. I don't think that's going to work. No. Nice try, but I'm not a demon anyway. But one thing I should say right now to we are the power is don't get disheartened is because the road, the journey is hard. For it has been said that the road less traveled, which is the thin, narrow one that's full of rocks and very tricky steps, which is the divine path to righteousness, is a challenge. But if you believe in the divine, or doing the divine work of Father and Mother God, you will overcome it. Don't ever be afraid of that. Sure, you can take the nice, smooth, paved highway, but we all know where that goes to. Just like AC/DC sings, Highway to Hell. Yeah. And he asks me, is there any advice you can give me kind of person in my career path? Do the things that you love. Do the things that you love. And make sure not to let someone discourage you into doing something you don't want to do. It is true that you are going to need to make a living as you grow older, but you can still do the things you love. Don't expect that you're always going to be rich or famous or anything like that. There's a lot of people who are not rich and famous. It's not even a money issue. You need to do the things that you love most of all that makes you happy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to frighten you at all. No, she doesn't. He asks me, I know that in life we have to be like Iron Man sometimes and get through the tough roads, but it leads to better than the nice highway. Hi, Chin Chin! Chin Chin's here. Awesome! Yeah! Don't hold me the next time I knock us offline. No, it was the screen's on. Chin Chin, how you doing today? Me and Michelle were just talking to other people and answering some questions. So if you want to hear some of the questions, you might want to rewind the tape a little bit. Let's see. So like he says, we life have to be like Iron Man and us to get through the tough road. And it leads to better life than the nice way. Yes, it does. And like I said, it's just like AC/DC sings, Highway to Hell. Yeah. You don't want to be on the highway to hell now, do you? No. It just leads to disappointment and unhappiness. Absolutely does. And that's one of the reasons. Let me just type it so Chin Chin knows that I did not ignore her, so because she may not know that there's always a delay. So let me just type this real quick. Hi, Sin. Oops. Hi. XIN. How are you doing? Please note there is a delay when I read questions. When I or Lumi no, actually it's Lumi and I. Lumi and you spelled delay wrong. Oh, come on, give me a break. From when Lumi and I read the questions till you hear the answers. Okay. So, I just typed that so she understood me, so she didn't think I was trying to ignore her. So, you think I have any more questions? Let's see. We have the power. In terms of mistakes in my life, is there anything in particular I should watch out for? Don't be misled. That's the most important thing, is don't be misled. It's just like there's so many pitchmen from the dark side. They're trying to get people to try to choose them over the right side, the righteous side. But also make sure that you don't make the mistake of being overinflated by ego either. Glad to hear that. Sorry that we didn't, last time we had a live stream, that you didn't really get a chance to complete a conversation. Right now, what we're talking about is spirituality stuff, and you and I were talking about crystals and magic. What can you tell me about, for example, Jewish chap was talking about demons. What can you tell me about demons? Your experience with them. Have you ever had to deal with demons? Let's see. Deal with demons. Okay. What about my other question? The other question is how to, in terms of mistakes in my life, is there anything particular I should watch out for? I don't mean to be demanding, but I'm looking right now at the questions here. Do you see a career path for me then, in terms of I do not want to be rich or famous but serving people? I think it's the path that you feel most attuned to. It's the one that you feel you want to do. I cannot tell you what your career path is because it's something you have to find. And that sometimes it can be really hard because sometimes people have to try out different career paths. And it's not really anything to be afraid of repeating. He's talking about politics. I don't know. Same thing I just said. I still stand behind what I said. Is it something that you're going to have to think about on your own? because personally I don't know you personally enough to really say, and even if I did know you personally enough to say, it's not my place to say. You can always ask the Divine Father, Mother God, to help you to answer the questions. Ask for your spirit guide to call them and ask them for advice. Chin Chin says, I am not familiar with demons, however they are mentioned in many Chinese texts. My studies have not involved them yet, and if they are currently afflicting me, I am unaware of them currently. The future, for me, is no better open the door than it is for anybody else. We can only make conjectures. As long as we're on Earth, we can't see the future. We can only look at the future as far as where we have been right now. In other words, we can make future forecasts. That doesn't mean that it's the absolute right answer. Can you tell us about the future on a global scale? In meant MicheleLarene. Okay. What about the future? Can you tell us about? I think right now, as long as me and Michele are kind of still stuck where we are, as far as the present, we're just gonna have to basically tread water and just try to work on towards a goal. And right now, this is what the best thing Michele is doing is what she's doing right now with the live streams, because this is the one tool she does have control over, and in the sense that she can, her whole ability for the future is pretty much driven on being able to advocate and speak out. Simpson says, there are many PO souls in the lungs, which when unbalanced can drive unhealthy impulses. This is probably the closest thing I've heard about demons in my text. Okay. Right. That's related to holistic medicine, trying to bring harmony and balance to the body by making sure to treat the whole problem and not just part of it. And we are the power asks, that's just is my spirit guides like is my spirit guide's name Ruby? I used to think of, can you at least see? Well, I'm not really capable of seeing other people's spirit guides. But as you already have determined that the person's name is Ruby, maybe that might be a start. Is ask Ruby to help you to find the answer to your question. Do I like any animes? You mean like animals, like cats, dogs, totems? Yeah, I like tigers, house cats. I'm definitely into the cats. I like the Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, and of course, tabby cats. In fact, most of my cats are tabby cats. There's just something about tigers and tabby cats. I like them. I don't know why exactly. I also like polar bears. Majority of the time, the person's name is usually selected by the person on Earth. It may not necessarily be the real name. See, Lumi and I call Lumi Lumi. Lumi stands for enlightenment, okay? Like from Lumiere, to light. And fenestra means window. So it means window of enlightenment. But I don't really know if that's her real name. It just is the name that I know her as. Right. It's just like we don't really I kind of know what Michele's real name is on the other side, but she doesn't have that real name here. Hey, remember, it's the name is how you identify the value. Everything's just like Nicholas Worth said about Pascal. Right. In other words, you can pass a value by name, or you can pass, which, if that makes any sense. I guess the best example would be is to think of it this way. The name that you have appointed is the name that your spirit guide is going to know you. It's going to be being known by you as. And it doesn't necessarily matter if that's the real name. It's like a nickname. They know if you say, Ruby, I got questions, and Michelle says, me, Lumi, I have questions about this. I know that from Michelle, that's the name she knows me as. Hair grows. It'll grow. I wouldn't worry about the hair growing. Your hair is constantly growing. Just make sure you eat lots of healthy food and your hair will grow really fast. But remember what Michelle one time told you is that for a young man, being well groomed is going to be how you begin to see a path to your employment future. And even for young ladies, it's the same thing. If your hair looks like it's a mess, it's unkept, it's oily, greasy, dirty, no one's going to want to hire you. But if your hair is cleanly groomed and clean, in case for men, your skin is clean shaven, or if you got to keep your beard or mustache, it's neatly trimmed, that's going to make a very positive impact for your career goal. Right? But I wouldn't worry about the hair anyway, because the hair is, like I said, it always grows. Why do you think Michelle has to go to the salon every month to get her hair retouched? Very true. Very true. Do you have a totem animal of your own people piece that you like? Is there any kind of animal that you feel a strong kinship to? Well, again, it depends on the kind of position you're looking for. Because, in food service, for example, the hair must be tied back or be in a hairnet. If you're working in a shop, no, I had a red a couple years ago. You know what the problem with red was? It never stayed red long. It just faded right out. It just never worked at me as red. I thought about going with my hair black, but like my hairstylist told me, if you go black, you can't go back because the black dye would stay in your head and it wouldn't come out. And it would actually, if you were trying to re-bleach you, because my hair is really fine hair, it would just break. My hair is like cotton strands. You can see how small these are. These are like cotton strands. It would never stand up. What do you think of pharmaceuticals? I think right now, first let me answer people piece question. Goats, dogs, I don't know. But I gotta think about it some more. It's probably gonna be the one animal that you think are pretty or attractive to you. So, it could be anything. Maybe you like crocodiles. Like you mentioned goats or dogs. Maybe it's a dog. I don't know. You have to determine it's the animal that you feel most closely kin to. Well, and as far as the pharmaceutical industry goes, right nowadays it's more of a money-making scheme. It's not like it's really focused on really healing the problem for reasons that's very clear. If you did find the perfect medication, say for example, that could fix arthritis, or you could find the perfect medication that could cure AIDS or cure blindness, that would be pretty much a one-time thing, and that's it. Whereas if it's a medication that we call maintenance medication, that is, you have to take it for the rest of your life. It's guaranteed that they're going to make money while you don't really cover. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a lion. The lions are a nice, big, large, powerful apex predator in the jungle. Definitely. Me, I'm a tiger person, so yeah. So most of Michelle's cats are tiger cats. um, well, like I said, but when I go back to what Ginger was talking about, I think Michelle will agree on this. Is that, yeah, the whole business of the man-made modern pharmaceuticals nowadays is more or less to keep a running profit, to keep you coming back for more, just like a crack junkie or a cocaine dealer or drug dealer. It's the same thing, actually. It's legalized drug dealing. But it's not out there to really permanently cure the problem. It's more or less a maintenance thing to you get hooked and then you can come back for more. What about my love life? What, see anything? I don't have that ability to see anything about your love life right now. I don't have that power. I've mostly focused on working with Michelle, and I don't even really have the ability to see other people's lives. Chin Chin says, have you ever had doctors try to force you to take medications you didn't want? I had a doctor that recommended, because of my way my body works, he wanted me to take Genfabrazil for my liver and simvastatin. Now, the problem was, originally was trying to do was get my good cholesterol up by keeping the bad cholesterol down. But the side effects with statins is that they cause brains to deteriorate because it destroys the good cholesterol of your brain. And there are side effects where it can also increase to hasten the symptoms of senile dementia. So I stopped taking the medication for a while, and then we did the blood work again. He said, well, here's the funny thing. He said, you're right. He said, because now your good cholesterol is going up and your bad cholesterol is still reasonable. So he says, you're right. The simvastatin and the Genfabrazil didn't work at all. Genfabrazil was for nice. The replacement is a little different, but it didn't work for me. But the regular nice and niacin did work to increase my niacin that my body needs. So basically, he agreed that we needed to use the medications that we worked, which was the niacin and ixnay, the simvastatin, and the Genfabrazil was not doing a thing. Have you ever? Sonny, let's see. Next question. So, sometimes doctors, of course, as working with the drug companies, they sometimes try to push the latest and greatest because that's where the money is to be made. But if the medications that they're pushing is not good for you or is not actually has any positive effect, it's just throwing money down the drain. And that's not good either. And so many medications have very serious side effects that can be absolutely destructive to the body. So right now, when you when you read the information on statins, for example, as I said, you can see that there's a lot of issues and concerns about the excessive use of statins. So you need to be informed. You need to know if this is not working for me and it has the side effects outweigh the benefits. Then you need to work with your doctor to say, okay, like I did. I said, look, I didn't take the medication for 2 months, yet you're still seeing my good cholesterol is going up. My bad cholesterol is staying safe level. It has not gone down. It has not gone up. Then it's just it's just throwing good money away. It's just throwing good money after something that's also going to potentially destroy my brain, eventually give me Alzheimer's. Now, Alzheimer's and senile dementia already run in my family. So I don't want to lose my brain. My brain is the most important thing to me, as I'm a person that loves knowledge and loves to research topics. So for me, to see my brain be eaten away by chemicals such as statins is a bad choice. And they agree with me. So that's why we got rid of the simvastatin and we switched back to niacin versus the Genfabrazil, which wasn't doing anything either. wish I could see how many people were actually on watching the videos. What do you think of psychiatric drugs like antidepressants, antipsychotics, and benzodiazepine or stimulants? Oh boy. They need to be used with great care for one thing, because antidepressants such as the SSRIs, a lot of the people who are on these have some serious dangerous effects, as talked about by Peter Bregan, medical doctor, psychiatrist. He said that this stuff is destroys the brain's functions from working correctly. He also pointed out that people on SSRIs tend to develop things similar to, was this him or Dr. Krupp? I think it was Dr. Krupp. Go on. Okay. He said that people who have fibromyalgia may actually be because of the SSRIs, because of the preventing of the serotonin to be reuptake into the body. That's what it does. So it has a habit of actually causing damage to the brain and the neurological system of the body. So it doesn't solve the problem anyway. It's supposed to solve. All it does is it just creates a problem. If you're having depression, and I did, and I still do, but not, I learned is two things. And this applies to anybody, especially in the holistic medicine field. Is you got to find out what's causing the depression. Is it caused by your situation that your life is in, or is it caused by something that you have done? Now, if it's the second choice, something that you have done, then you have the ability to look and see if you can change that and try your way out of depression. Oh, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Some of the medications are actually very much like meth. If you crystal meth, I think was it what's this, some of the drugs like some of the medications are prescription form of methamphetamines. So if you work it out, as I said, if you can work it out, if you can actually sit down with a therapist who is willing. And Dr. Bregan, Peter Bregan from the upstate New York said he does this. He said, I do not go out there and write scripts for pills. And even though I'm a psychiatrist, I am board certified. He said, I'd rather sit down with the patient and find out what is going on. Ask the patient to talk to me. Adderall, thank you. Let's look at what's causing the depression, and then we can start to work on it. It takes longer, but that's just it. In the mental health field, it's not cheaper to do therapy. It's more expensive. It takes longer. So if you're taking an antidepressant, for example, because you're depressed, all you're doing is masking the symptoms. You're not really solving nothing. Maybe for a short-term thing, it may be an option, but for long-term recovery, you need to know and find out what's causing the depression and work it out. Okay, I have a serious question. I wonder if Lumi can help me. I'll try. Okay, let's see where we go. What's the question? Wait, MicheleMarieDalene. This is from Ted Theodore Logan. Okay. So what's your question? We are the power. Oh, can I add one more thing? Okay, sure. Also, some of the depression symptoms are actually caused, as I said, about environmental. When I say environmental, I'm going to bring this up real quick. It also includes what you eat for food and what you drink. There are some foods, especially processed foods, which are soulless. If you think of what I mean, anything that's been run through manufactured process, the benefits of the food items, the nutrients have been stripped out. I got plenty of food examples of that in my own refrigerator, where there is absolutely no significant nutritional value in any of that stuff. Right. It all depends on why you're not contacting them. It's not a sin, because as an adult, you know, you have the right to make that decision. And there's nothing necessarily wrong to choose not to contact him. But on the other hand, if it's some reason maybe you could benefit by talking to him, then you have the right too. It's your choice. Welcome to being an adult, kid. That's the way it is. Drugs are bad. MMKAY. Well, I would say drugs are not really the best solution for long-term treatment of a problem. You know, since we're talking about medications here. But on the other hand, there's for short-term use with properly prescribed, maybe they can help you, but they should not be the end all. Okay, what if he serves the dark sides? Even though I love him, I don't want to get cut up. Well, okay, but you still have to love. You have to still love your father. You should still talk to your dad. Yeah, you should still talk to him. You know, you can be. You know, you should still love your father. You still should tell him that. Though you still got a chance to. Yeah. It may seem like a hard choice, but maybe I should just make money myself instead of being rich, and an easy way to get in contact with the rich side of the family. Well, most people work hard. Most people really do. I work hard. Lumi works hard. I'm sure everyone else in here in this channel would agree with me. They work hard too. It's not easy. Nothing's easy. If it was easy, you know, it's just like if you watch Bruce Almighty, right? Well, when Bruce was given the power to act as God for a day, and he was looking at all prayers, and he created, was it Yahweh? You got prayers. You got prayers. Millions and millions of prayers. What is the biggest, most powerful one? I want to be rich. And what did he do? Boom! Gave everybody answered all prayers. Everybody's walking around rich. Everybody's doing great, right? But really, they weren't, because everybody else was getting screwed out of the deal. Where did you go to med school? You talking to me, or you talking to Chin Chin? In my case, it's more of just personal experience and research that I do behind the scenes, so I can understand how all this works. Yeah, I could have easily been a medical doctor. I could easily have passed the medical exam. There's no doubt about that. Because I went to university. I studied to be a psychiatrist. I did study that. And I also knew deep down from looking at the way the research was being done is that it just doesn't seem to make any sense to me. How do you know? Well, wait a minute. Well, thank you. I try to keep my knowledge up. I keep studying. I may be legally blind. I may be partially deaf. But there's one thing in me that always will work perfectly. Yep, you got it. My noggin. As long as I can get access to periodicals and research materials, I will study until my eyeballs fall out. Hopefully not literally. I love learning. I love learning. Even on the other side, I'm a teacher. That's what I do on the other side. I'm a teacher. I'm doing the same thing here I do on the other side. Give me access to a research library and give me access to a chance to try experiments of my own. I will do it. I will study it because I love learning. It's one of the reasons my channel is so important to me. It's not just money or fame or anything like that. It's just I love sharing knowledge and helping people who want to know more learn more. Granted, it's not the most popular kind of videos on YouTube, mind you, but the The other side. Where do you go when you die? That's right. You go to the other side. I got screensaver keeps kicking on here. Have you ever smelled people smoking weed? Yes. And it helps my eyes too, because my eyes don't hurt as much when I'm around THC. My joints, my legs don't hurt as much either. But it certainly doesn't hurt my thinking capacity. I don't see anything wrong with marijuana. I support the legalization of marijuana. I support the research into it and its use in a variety of situations, such as an alternative medication for opiates, for pain management. I believe in it. I believe in it. Everybody's been to the other side. Because remember, it's a cyclic journey. You are born after you were living on the other side. And when you die, you go back to the other side again. I have a home on the other side, as do everybody else. Everybody on the other side has been to the earth at least once, if not more times than that. Oh, I never actually tried putting a burning piece of joint to my mouth. No, I just put it in a bowl and let it burn and just inhale it, the fumes. That's what Dory does too, because it's easier that way. Well, once it becomes legal in the state of Connecticut, and given the way that it's already legal in Massachusetts and Maine, and I think New Hampshire as well, and now in Vermont, yeah, Connecticut will be next, and I can bet Connecticut will be seeing, just like Colorado did, a huge success in the amount of tax revenue. But it also is going to be benefit because it's already been proven that people who are using marijuana for pain use are less likely to be using opiates for pain management. Oh, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't inhale it. I'm just saying I'm not going to put a burning piece of paper to my mouth. No, it's good for you, but just got to be used with care. Like anything. I mean, you can abuse anything, but if you use it with respect and knowing that what it can do for you to help pain management, maybe to help you, especially people who are cancer survivors who may have issue with chemotherapy drugs. Weed can help them encourage to eat more food to make up for the weight loss that is caused by the medications of chemotherapy. Right, exactly. It may not necessarily help with getting rid of the cancer, but it's certainly not going to make it worse. I think he himself does not want to illegalize weed. It's Jeff Sessions that's pushing it, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants to let the states determine the state's own policies. Jeff Sessions is trying to continue the war on drugs, which it doesn't say anywhere in the Constitution, any amendment, that the state will give up the right to regulate its own pharmaceutical industry. What is... Oh, it's the cat. That's the other cat. Okay. You think Rusty wants to come in? Rusty? Yeah. Let me see if my other cat wants to come in. He's been outside. Let me go see if he wants to come in. I gotta take a quick pee break. So... He has the right to eat too, you know. Get your claws out of my clothes. Alright. guys. It's not like it's really worth it. You know that, don't you? Stubborn cats. Just wait. Alright, back. So, let me see if the sound's working here. Stubborn cats. Just wait. Okay. Okay. I think you're good. Oh, actually, there's 3 cats. There's 4 cats here right now. There's Rusty. He's the daddy cat to Dusty and Torres. Well, Torres and Dusty are tomcats. Rusty is an ex-tomcat who's fixed now. And so, of course, this is his home, and he kind of would like to have his home back. Okay. I talked to my dad, my mom. I guess he was saying is if I talked to my dad and my mom was betrayed, and my goal is to make. Well, don't realize that, you don't have to jump in there and do things right away. No, you can just take your time. Take your time. But don't forget, just to be honest with you, from personal experience, that your career choices you make now could very well change as you go on the journey of life. Don't expect that your life goal or your career is going to be the career that you're going to probably stay and do, say, in 30, 40 years. Your life, you change careers, you change goals, just like everybody else does. I mean, it's just like Michele wanted to be an electrician as a kid. Right. Michele knows her way around a fuse box, but frankly, she probably doesn't want to get stuck working with electricity too much. Well, she knows how to do it. So right now, as far as the cat goes, I'm trying to get the 2 cats to kind of work together as a team, because Rusty, as I said, is the patriarch cat. He's the son. He's the father of the 2 boy cats that are still toms. And it's the 2 tomcats that kind of pushes their dad around a lot. It's better to stay in the city I am now. Okay. It's better to stay in the city I am now and study here and then move back home, or is it too small town? Right, well, I think right now, going in with the knowledge is always going to be the best choice you can do. That's an interesting one. I never heard of that one before, but that sounds like a reasonable answer. Teamwork makes dreamwork. Okay. Well, that's what Ted Theodore Logan said. It's exactly the way Michele and I work. We're a team. We work as a team. We do things together. We research together. We talk about. We research the notes that we read and see if we can make heads or tails. Sometimes out of very conflicting data. Well, I think right now, the first thing we should do is focus on one thing at a time. Right now, the cats are still arguing. So, who else is still on here? Is Chin Chin still on here? No, let's check. I want to see who else is still on here right now. I'm just curious. Oh, right now it's just people. We and the power in Cynthia or Logan. I guess Chin Chin is on the side right now. So it takes a while to update the screen. Yep. Oh yeah, there she is. Okay. That's a really smart goal. Makes sense to me too. The problem is by then I graduate and everything, you know how much the world will change. The world is always going to change. That's absolutely going to be, that's just life. The world is always going to change. When I studied in college, computer programming doesn't even apply anymore in this day and age. Who works with C anymore? Who works with some of the stuff I learned? The internet didn't even exist when I was in college. Well, maybe that will be defeated. I think that's gonna happen. Well, someone said that North America is really the last bastion of hope, so maybe that may be true. I mean, North America would be best to stay here, but definitely if you have a degree, you have skills that you can take with you to wherever you go, it will certainly be easier for you to find work in other areas. Come on, guys, keep it down. The cats are fighting again. When you got 3 male cats in one apartment, and all 3 of those cats want to assert their territory, it's very likely that there's going to be some rumbles. I'm trying to find a home for one of the cats, and Dory's trying to find a home for her cat, and then of course Rusty wants his apartment back to himself, and Fame the cat doesn't really care one way or another because he was fixed when he was very young and as a kitten, so he doesn't really care. Yeah, cat fight. I will see. I'm also exploring different regions right now. Well, you don't have to rush into anything, right? You don't have to, just take your time. You got time. What are your thoughts on Reform Judaism? I don't know anything about it. I don't really know anything about it. I can't tell you something I don't know about. I need to research it. This is just me tapping my fingernail on the table. It's one of these old metal desks from the 50s. Okay, actually, I think this is a 70s design. Yeah. It's definitely not no 80s because it's not particle board. It's metal. It's heavy as heck. Yeah. You ever seen a cat fight where you have 3 cats basically trying to beat all 3 of each other up at the same time? Which I have certainly seen it. I've even seen when 4 cats have actually went after each other at the same time. So, my biggest problem is getting Rusty to eat when he doesn't want to necessarily eat when he's got the other cats around. That's why usually I know to feed him outside. But unfortunately, it's too cold right now. If I put food out the dish, it'd freeze. Well, it's 10:07. Or no, it's 10:01. Oh my God, it's that late. I didn't realize it was that late. Didn't either. Guys, let's just let you know on Wednesday. I'm gonna make this clear. We are gonna be having our phones should be working if everything goes according to plan. And we're going to be able to talk to people on the phone. And I invite Will, Grace, Chin Chin, all the other people, Ted, Theodore, Logan, we are the Paper Power, and of course Steven the TNCC can of course be part of the live stream for Wednesday as well. And I can't tell you exactly if this is going to go perfectly by code, but I'm hoping that we'll have the phones working. It's the best I can do, you know. And right now it looks like it's getting pretty quiet out there. It's the best I can do, you know. So 3 hours. Okay, I have one more year and I'm off. Okay. One more year what? Of high school? I also am exploring different religions right now. Okay. Well, maybe you should take a look at some of the faith systems of the Eastern faith systems, such as Confucianism and Buddhism or Taoism. You know, you should consider Eastern mysticism as well. Don't just be thinking that the Western rite or Western practices is the only choices out there. For some people, they find peace in the Eastern faith systems. Agreed. So, right now the cat's being quiet. Yep, that's always nice. Always nice. Cat's quiet today. Agreed. So, right now the cat's being quiet. Yep, that's always nice. Yeah. Well, Native American faith, what I would do is, maybe if you can get in contact with a Native American shaman, maybe he could help you to understand. Some tribes will actually invite other people to join them in their journeys too. But that's going to mean that you're going to need to get in contact with some of the Native American tribes and see if they would be willing to train you as an outsider into their faith systems. Such as the Hopi, for example, which are highly regarded, or even those of the Iroquois, or the Cherokee, or the Apaches. I don't know what Native American tribes are in Canada, but I'm sure you could probably get in contact with somebody who would be willing to introduce you to their spiritual people, and maybe have a chance to sit down with the shaman and actually ask questions. Can you give me examples? Examples on what? Of different faith systems? Of the Native American people? Well, for example, the Hopi talks about the Blue Star Kachina. They talk about the Star people. For example, the Hopi Nation covers that a lot. They talk about the Star people and the Blue Kachina and the importance of all those things. So it's something where you need to go ahead and get in contact with a local Native American person that may be able to help you to learn those questions. So if you know anybody who's a Native American that you could ask questions and maybe, well, like I said, I don't know anybody really. I know some people that have knowledge of Native Americans. I know one person that is a Native American, but I actually have not actually physically talked to her in person. Ruby knows who I'm talking about. Well, some shamans will work with non-Indian members, and they can become a member of the tribal nation. Depending on the tribe's policies, that may be a simple process or it may be a complicated one. But the most important thing, of course, is that you're willing to learn about the Native American tribe. If that Native American tribe feels that you're good, that they want to have you become a Native American Just like you can become a naturalized citizen, say, of the United States. It's the same thing. You know, there'll be like a moment of where you got to go through proper procedures as far as if the tribe is going to accept you as one of their own. And so that's what I'm saying, is if you work with the shaman of the different tribes that you may know of, and if they think you are a good candidate to be a part of the tribal spiritual team, you can actually become a Native American, a naturalized Native American, if that tribe is open to that possibility. That's what makes it work. Okay, we've been on now for 3 hours, and I want to just kind of wrap this up because I gotta go take good care of my cats, and I'm gonna put some food outside for Recieve so he can eat some dinner and some fresh water, because he does not want to eat in the house where the other two cats are. He certainly doesn't want to be in the same room as Torres. So he doesn't mind. He does not mind Dusty. He gets along great with Dusty. It's Torres that makes him basically messes up his digestion. So what I gotta do is put some food in the cat dish outside for Rusty so he can eat some dinner. And I know he's morbidly obese. I know I can say, well, he can actually skip a few pounds. Well, that's fine, but he's got to still drink water. So remember the rule of threes. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. And so I don't want to see my cat get dehydrated, so I gotta be sure he has something to eat and something to drink. But I want to thank you guys all for coming, and please, if it's possible, for what? What's your idea? Well, let me just finish what I was saying while you. Okay. But let me just wrap up what I'm saying all. And that is this, okay? My stream starts at 7, and it was very quiet, a long time. Yes, I know. Yeah, you can go to Buffalo, New York. I think unless you have your Canadian passport. If you want to apply to become an American citizen, the process can take a while to do, but a lot of people in the Buffalo, New York area travel to Canada and back to Niagara Falls area. It's actually there's actually a very easy to get from U.S. to Canada and back. But for right now, I was gonna say is, could people try to come a little bit earlier? I know some of you guys have other obligations and everything, but I mean, like me and Lemmy were sitting here for like almost 30 minutes when no one was here. So we started at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and this time I'm glad to say we had no problem with the sound. Thank God. What I'm going to say is that it's been nice talking to you guys tonight. And on Wednesday, if everything goes according to plan and the mixer is fixed, I mean, it doesn't say wouldn't be, but you never know. And plugging everything, testing to make sure it's all working. And then on Wednesday, if that's the case, we'll be giving out the phone number and we will be taking phone calls. Okay? So that's what our goals are for the future. And you'll be seeing Michelle wear her headphones on her head more often. Right. I tried to be originally to Friday night and nobody came. And Saturday night, no. Right, I know that, but you know, what about Wednesday? What's the excuses for Wednesday? Well, Wednesday was because you had equipment problems. It wasn't because no one didn't want to be part of it. Right. Well, Michelle is trying to find a way, the best time to meet the needs of everybody, and that's why she has it twice a week. When she was doing it 7 days a week, that was way too much. Yeah, it was way too much. So, I mean, plus Michelle reads your comments and your posts and on the message basis, and she's always trying to keep an open ear to any questions you have. So it's not like Michelle is basically just, you know, telling you, okay guys, that's it, that's a wrap. I won't see you till Wednesday. You know, don't bother leaving me messages. I'll never read them. Michelle's always reading your messages. Correct. Okay, so like we say, you know, we'll talk more about this on the next few days. But for now, Michelle and I are going to get ready to wrap this up because really, we have things we have to do. We have to take care of the cats and their food needs and everything else. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. Stay out of trouble. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.